you get your race card?
JPEG Mafia recommended the show to you?
I have to admit, I do wonder if there are people who actually identify themselves as white, because it's so bizarre to me. Like, if you sit around with anyone, you know, they talk about how they're Italian or Polish or French or German, and it's a great source of pride. Very rarely have I ever heard anyone say, I'm white. Like, I think I would be thrown if I got that as an answer. I'd be like, yeah. That's great.
White
and what else are
pride?
you? I do believe that white people are perceived differently in I guess the opinion that I don't think they're perceived at all. It's kind of like,
We didn't see all of this. We saw some of it, for the record. We didn't see all of it. We saw some of it. Okay? And it was very good.
a chair in the room that's always just been there. Like, you don't take the time to notice it, you just always know it's there. In my mind, it's really just that box. It's checking that box on the government form, because literally that's the only time I consider myself that. After that, it's strictly, I think of myself in an ethnic way.
U.S. Bureau classifies respondents who write in a race Italian, Polish, French, or German as white. Damn, didn't say Irish.
I don't feel that
Didn't say Irish.
personally I have benefited from being white.
6 months.
Again, just because I grew up relatively poor. You know, my father worked at a factory. Factory closed. He lost his job. That was pretty rough for a while. And, you know, I'm finally at a point at 27 where I'm actually making a good wage and, you know, starting to kind of crawl out of that. My work environment's very diverse. I mean, it's a call center, and, you know, in my row, just the row that I sit in, you know, there's 6 people. I think 3 of us are white. There's two black guys and a Puerto Rican girl. When you do things and make programs like affirmative action, you're still separating Black Americans. You're saying that these people are different and need to be treated differently. So as much as it sounds great and, you know, might be helpful, you're still focusing on the fact that they're different than everyone else. So I think that can in the long term be hurtful.
You can always expect a betrayal in the end, no matter how like woke it comes across as originally. There's always going to be some shit in there that's suspect. 53% of black people born in the lowest 20% of income will remain in that category compared to 33% of whites. Wow, there's more upward social mobility for white people. That's crazy. Feels like there's something else going on there.
I don't see any, myself personally, of a race problem. I see a responsibility problem with people. When you don't support your own ethnicity from within your own communities, then you can't grow successful anyplace else. So I see that in the black community, that they do not support each other. And when there's a problem, it's always somebody else's fault. And then
Typical.
they'll say, well,
typical white guy take, straight up. Systemic issues are not at play here. You know, slavery, Jim Crow laws, the destruction of Reconstruction. None of that plays a role here. It's just, you know, people are just selfish and stupid. They don't understand it. There's just a responsibility problem. Yeah.
the white guy still holds all the cards. No.
Almost 2 months, Pog.
It ain't the white guy, it ain't the black guy, Spanish guy.
What?
There's a lot of people holding a good hand in this country. It's what you do with it that counts. You can't point at the white guy anymore and go, hey, you're the one who's holding me back for 200 years. It's impossible.
3 months.
Unless you hold yourself back.
I've been following for a while, but only sub when I get a gift.
That's the way I look at it. Everybody's an individual to me.
Incredible.
Your
Thanks for
color
keeping
means
me
absolutely
company while
nothing
I
to me.
isolate alone with
You're a
COVID.
human.
Oh, chiropractor alert.
Being, just like I'm a human being. Your color means absolutely nothing to me. You're a human being, just like I'm a human being. And I
Let's
just
go 1
don't
year of brain
buy
rot.
into the nonsense about discrimination. I mean, I feel
Is the channel shitting on these people or supporting them? No. This channel is called The Whiteness Project. Friend of the show, JPEG Mafia, aka JPEG Mafia, aka Peggy, put me on this. It was a documentary where they just like asked white people a bunch of questions to describe like whiteness and shit like that, and they ended up self-reporting super hard on their really, really bad "I love your stream, but come on" show.
that everybody's equal, and that's the way it should be. I mean, I've worked.
Oh, it wasn't even a bunch of questions. It was like, I think it was just one question. It was like, what does it mean to be white, right? And they would just literally go on, and then they'd cut the best parts out.
The fields I've worked with, whether you be black, whether you be Latino, if you have it upstairs and you really commit to do what you're wanting to do with your life, I don't think that race really has anything to do with anything. You're given, your cards, and it's the way that you play them.
73% of whites believe blacks should receive no special favors to overcome inequality. Right, shocking.
I do feel as if people have preconceived notions about me being a blonde, cliche-looking white girl. I live with an African American. We do the same things. We live the same life. But I guess inherently there's never going to be a time where a person with lighter skin completely understands what a person with darker skin might go through on a daily basis, whether it be as small as feeling like they were being glared at by somebody on the bus, or whether or not it was an ignorant comment that some stranger that they met might have said to them on the side. If that never happens to the other half of that couple, maybe there is always going to be a little bit of a boundary between what white people and African American people can understand about each other.
Remember, first of all, this was back when this was
alongside Caucasians.
This was back when saying African American was like the seen as like the polite thing. A lot of white people, even to this day, a lot of white people think like overcorrective. A lot of overcorrective white people think like you should always say African American, like not black. I mean, it stems from just never being around black people. I mean, ironically, also, a lot of these people think all black people are African American. They call all black people African Americans, which is pretty funny.
Ratio.
Remember that one chatter being like, "Hey, how many African Americans are in Turkey?" The chat. I will never forget the chatter who said, "How many African Americans are in Turkey?" It was awesome.
Whites might be hesitant to express their opinions about being proud to be white because one of the first things that comes to mind is white power and just racism in a negative
I remember
way,
this one being weird.
when it doesn't necessarily mean that, I'm proud
Oh,
to
no,
be
it does. That's what it means.
white, but I don't think that anybody should be not proud because they're not white. I think everybody should be proud of whatever they are. I think it would be wonderful if we could have a universal white culture that
What does that mean? What does that mean? You're proud to be white. What does white mean? I have to go over this again. Whiteness is not just about your skin complexion. I mean, white as like the way that colloquially we understand it can mean Caucasian, skin complexion, all that good stuff, right? But whiteness as a political concept is built around what it's not. Whiteness as a political concept implies power, okay? Whiteness as a concept was carefully curated by its proximity to blackness, i.e. the one-drop rule. So when people say white power or white pride, they are saying they are proud of being a part of the ruling class. They are proud of being a part of the group that has the hegemonic dominant power. When they see white culture and shit like that, that's precisely what they're talking about, whether they realize it or not. Okay?
we could all bond over as some other racial groups get to do. Being white is just as beautiful as being black or being brown or any other color of the rainbow. And, we should just all take pride in whatever hand we were dealt.
72% of Americans identify as white. Oh, this
haven't
one.
experienced a whole lot of the world and not a lot of adverse situations outside of any, common household trials. I really don't have a lot of black friends, but I do have a lot of gay friends, and that's kind of a similar construct. And when I first started hanging out with them,
Yeah.
I would be conscious of if I ever said the word gay. And sometimes it would slip out and I'd be like, oh my gosh, are they going to be mad? And the same thing can be said for any type of...
So wait, then is it okay not to be proud to be black or Mexican or any POC? There's a difference between saying you're proud to be black versus proud to be Mexican. Like, you can have Irish pride, okay? No one's going to bat an eye at that. No one's going to be like, oh, dude, you fucking suck,
Why
you
are
piece
there
of shit.
thorns in her hair?
Okay, you can have Italian pride. But when you say you have white pride, you're talking about whiteness as a political group, okay? And the reason why it's not comparable to black pride is because black is a culture that was created within captivity, okay? That's the only difference. And it's an emancipatory it's an emancipatory attitude for subjugated black people. Okay? Which is why you can't say that about like Mexican pride versus, black pride, because those are two separate things. But you can say I'm proud to be Irish. I love being Irish.
When? Pogo.
Okay? You get it? The black cultural identity was formed as a consequence of slavery. Formed because black people were ripped away from their backgrounds, their cultures, their homes, their language, stripped of their identity, and had to come up and create a shared identity within that struggle of being victims to colonial violence, being victims to chattel slavery. That's where that comes from. That's why there's a black pride, or that's why it means something to be black. Okay? And yes, by the way, the concept of white pride also is a reactionary concept that was created in the aftermath of black pride to begin with, just like the same bullshit. You know what I mean? It's always the same fucking bullshit. It's the all lives matter to Black Lives Matter. We all know what that is.
What happens if I don't know my ethnic background
Like
except for the
fried
complexion
chicken,
of my skin?
Kool-Aid. I mean, come on. Like, you can't even talk about fried chicken or Kool-Aid without wondering if somebody's going to get offended. Ugh, it's always like walking on eggshells, isn't it?
Bro, she just dropped it. She just dropped that, like... Why is that the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of black people, dude? Holy shit. Like how? How? Jesus Christ. Someone says she has racist gums.
Green heart.
I don't know.
Green heart. Green heart has high.
You don't know just where the line is.
70% of millennial Americans did not grow up in families that talked about race. Of course. And the 30% that did, you don't want them talking about race. Oh, Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying?
If we're going to talk about black
Oh, this one was crazy. This one was really fucking annoying. Oh, yikes.
men in general, very beautiful people. So when you smile and you say hello, that's not an invitation
HasanAbi
to
and
follow
Francine
me,
Ethan talking
come to my
about
door.
left drivers.
You know, I have a convertible to pull up next to me. I don't, you know, I'm just being friendly. I would smile to.
Hey. Trigger warning. This one it led to an extended stun lock in the chat because some women were upset at me. Not some women, just one chatter was upset at me for saying this is literally fucking racist. And she was trying to justify her own personal experience of of being approached exclusively by black men, apparently.
A woman or a kid or a dog in the car, any person, they take that as a opening to approach. And as I said, as a voluptuous woman, I don't. I seem to. They seem to gravitate that way to me, and it's just not comfortable. So,
Like, ooh, sexy black bodies that I fetishize on a daily basis. Please stop gravitating towards me. I know you want to ravish me because I'm voluptuous, but like, don't do it. Come on, dude. Come on. Fucking freak.
Hope
Christ.
you are doing well today, Has.
prejudice that I don't like that? I guess it is in a way. I don't like that. I'm afraid. You know, so.
More than 40% of white Americans say many or almost all black men are violent.
That's
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, that stat. I don't remember this stat because I was so stun locked. I don't think I finished the video. That's crazy. What did I tell you, bro? 40%, dude. 30 to 40% of Americans, baby. What did I tell you? Well, that's not 40% of Americans. That's 40% of white Americans, but like, you know, same shit. You will always find 30 to 40% of Americans that believe anything, okay? Anything.
I don't feel a common bond where, like, when I see another white person walking down the street, I have to give them a high five or something along those lines. No, I do not feel a specific common bond with white people. If you were going to ask me, do I feel a common bond with Jewish people, then the answer would absolutely be yes. As a white person, sometimes I feel like that there are some things that I just do not understand and could not understand, no matter how much I know what happened, but to not have a family member go through that type of situation, it might be a little difficult to really relate. I think that is easier as a Jewish American because of the Holocaust, because of the stories that you hear from great-grandparents, from great-great-grandparents about what happened to their families in Europe. I think that there is some relatable there are definitely some relatable ties.
Bro, that was literally, I mean, he tried so hard, and honestly, in comparison to like every other person, that was decent, okay? I don't know why he can't just say it, but 94% of U.S. Jews identify as white. White Americans view Jews more positively than members of any other major religion. I think they mean like non-Christians, maybe. I remember that. Oh, this guy.
Do I think it's beneficial for me to be white? Have I gotten any?
Let me tell you something. This dude's gonna be racist as fuck, and it's because we pre-watched, but also like, come on, like you know, okay, like, come on. My man is straight Italian. Okay, let's hear what he has to say. What kind of Italian shit he's gonna pull off here?
Do I think it's beneficial for me to be white? Have I gotten any privileges like that? I would say no. Just plain and simple no. I think that, you know, with civil rights and everything, I think a lot of times that other minorities sometimes get more benefits than I would as being a white person.
Hasan.
For some reason, some black people kind of hold on to the, back in the day, the slave thing.
Yeah, come on, this slave thing. Come on. It's only 100. Come on. Come on. We only fucking try to maintain an unequal system of subjugation through our
At the
criminal
same time,
justice
the previous
system
guy
for
was actually
another
interviewed a
fucking
few
100
years
years
prior for a
after
previous
slavery is
show about
abolished.
race
Come
and
on. And then we still have remnants of that same kind of white supremacist attitude hidden in our criminal justice system where it's totally legal to keep maintaining slavery. Come on! Sentencing disparity is not a big deal. The slave thing. What are you doing? How you doing? Fuck you.
They feel they're not being treated right. Should slavery be something that, because it happened, we owe black people something more?
Yes. The answer is yes. And this isn't me being like one of those fucking rad lib cucks who are like, black people, let me clean your shoes, please. Oh, I'm so sad about slavery. Please, me, only me. Because there are people like that. Straight up, like, yeah, Uhuru. There are people like that. And those people are, I mean, they're whack as fuck. They're weird as fuck. But, you know, that's not what we're talking about here. It's just like, straight up, reparations. Yes.
Absolutely not.
I who scored.
Like I said, it had nothing to do with me. It had nothing to do with black people living today. Maybe their great-great-great-grandmother went through it, someone they never met, but it's in the past. There's been injustices done forever in human existence. And it's just something that...
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, the attitude should never be, get over it.
It shouldn't happen. But it doesn't mean I owe...
Not really going to say yes, then not donate 100% of your money to black cash apps? Yeah, dude, that's what reparations is. When I donate individually to black cash apps, how fucking brain broken is American hyper atomized, hyper individualized society? I swear to God, capitalism is destroyed. Literally, just like capitalism has destroyed the core, the very fabric of American society. Okay? Motherfucker literally turned around and said, no, do the thing that like those stupid libs that you were making fun of do. Shut the fuck up, man. I'm trying to get paid. Okay, whatever. I see it on Twitter all the time. It's so cringe and stupid that Cheddar was joking, though, by the way. Yeah, probably.
HasanAbi.
Colin wants to buy an eighth for $50.
Anyone, anything because of it. I think it's hard to talk about race as a white person because I feel like maybe sometimes black people are just looking for a reason to tell you why you're wrong or tell you why you owe them something. If I was in a room full of white people, I would not feel uncomfortable talking about race. But if there were other minorities...
I mean, dude, the world was awaiting his contribution to the race conversation. You know what I mean? It's like, man, I'm so sad that like the barrier to hearing what Jason has to say about black people is somehow you know, the repercussions of people immediately telling him that he's a fucking racist piece of shit. Fuck, dude. It's just, we would be so much more knowledgeable. It's that fucking meme of like the future where it's like society if Jason was able to freely talk about race. And it's just flying cars everywhere.
In that room, I might think a little bit different, and I might be a little bit more careful opening my mouth to not offend anyone or to potentially get in an argument or a heated debate.
Also, I don't even think white people ever feel uncomfortable about talking about race. Only like mega racist white people feel uncomfortable talking about race because it's going to come out and you know, and then everyone else is other white people, not the black people. They don't give a shit about what black people think. But like the other white people are going to be like, "Oh, dude, you're fucking racist," right? But there's an inverse of this where white people also absolutely love talking about race to black people if they're liberals as well. Like they just can't. They can't stop. They love it. It's like the Michael Che joke about fucking, you know, a white lady trapped in an elevator with Michael Che immediately is like, "I'm so sorry about what's going on right now with the police and everything." It's like, dude, just be normal. Like that's just that's a person. Like they're not like a they're not just black. They're a person. You can just have a normal conversation as you would with any other person. It does not have to immediately revolve around how much of a fucking ally you are. You know? Just so stupid. I think a lot of white people do because they know they're undereducated on issues. Yeah. Like that's the well-intentioned liberal who also still, you know, comes from a place of like otherizing black
Thanks
people.
for the quality content hassle.
Of course, I'm racist, so it's different, you know, against everybody apparently. Are you gonna play Ghostwire Tokyo? Is that coming out today, or did it come out already?
I think about race a lot.
We need to be educated to know you're undereducated in that topic. Is it true that a majority of slave owners in the U.S. were Jewish? I heard that at some point. Okay, is this guy a Nazi, or is this guy just
16
uninformed, or some Nazi got to him? Let's see. Touch Finland. Whore. Did you just eat a booger? How to get to Prague? That, by the way, is Nazi propaganda, Nazi bullshit. Okay, for the record. I don't know. I don't want to like punish you immediately and clap your ass cheeks. What? We've seen the rehabilitative. Wait, what? We've seen the rehabilitative approach play out in California. If that's what you think works, we're in a lot of trouble. Wait, what? When people are getting stabbed to death at work and bus drivers are getting assaulted daily with no consequences at all, I think it's an issue. Wait, what the fuck? Is Anna hacked? What is happening? No shot. What? True, the California prison system is awesome. What the fuck? Wait, I actually don't know what this is. I mean, I'll text her. That's so weird and like so not like her.
Missiles and other militaristic aid to Russia to keep these viewership levels.
You were talking about this yesterday on TYT. Wait, really? What? Not allowed to have a different take? Dude, we're talking about someone who's like a sister to me that I've known for like fucking 20 years. Of course I'm going to be, can I have a moment of surprise when I find out that like some of her positions have changed almost dramatically since the last time I talked to her? What? Chatter be like, what the fuck, dude? What, she can't have different point of view? Like, you don't have to agree with me. Plenty of people don't. Not a typical lib take. Well, Anna is not a typical lib. Said no, it's not. When people are getting stabbed to death at work and bus drivers are getting assaulted
13
daily with
months
no
of brain
consequence at
rot.
all, I think is an issue. What? Mike says there isn't a single state in the United States that does the rehabilitation. I mean, he's right. I mean, I also agree with her take after seeing all the Asian hate crimes, but I used to agree with you. Wait, what? What is happening, dude? What do you mean? What the fuck do Asian hate rise in Asian hate crimes has to What? Anna is right as fuck though. Okay, I'm losing it a little bit. 38-month subscriber. First of all, the rehabilitative approach in California, what the fuck? I don't even know what she's talking about. What rehabilitative approaches that happen in California? Unless she's talking about like the prisoner early releases and whatnot. But if she's what the hell? If she's talking about like lenient sentencing and sentencing reform being bad, I don't know what to tell you. That's like not appropriate. I feel like I just got hit in the face with like video from her few days may explain her position.
And I just hope that we continue this dialogue and understand each other's positions. That's it. And another thing, Mom, stop. On live, please get the hell out of here. Mom, pull over, okay?
What?
What happened in 1952? You consider that genocide?
Wait, what is happening? Is that a joke? Just fucking send this as a joke, dude, from 2016. Where is he? Got this. Yeah, come and take it. There you go. Won't be reaching 9 fucking months because here, let me untime you out for this. Okay, what wrong video? This is the one. That's also not from a week ago. That's also from 2016. From a few days ago. Yeah, refusing to prosecute violent criminals is definitely his fault. Wait, what? What's going on? Cutting right now? Yeah.
Only 2 more months until brain rot. Will I survive that long?
I don't think she would be. I don't think she's like starting her Dave Rubin arc or whatever. I don't know. I'm surprised by this. If anything, it feels like. If anything, it feels like she got. She got frenzied by. All of the insane, and I mean, insane amounts of fucking conservative agitprop that pops off in the California TV. In every California TV stations, like that just straight up has like broken the brains of everyone. Like all I literally I noticed this. A couple months ago, and I talked about it. If you remember, I tweeted about it. where you know, I noticed that like California local television and like just in general, there was like a big media blitz about, you know, rising crime, like people totally, absolutely just, you know, just taking up this propaganda hook, line, and sinker. On the TYT page, there's a recent video from talking about
So
cash
I want to
bail.
move on to cash bail. I think it's a super important issue, and I feel like it might be one of those issues where we put the cart before the horse, because of the fact that crime is classified in very strange ways in this state. So before we get to those details, I want to go to a video featuring an interview that you did on Democracy Now! This is where you were talking about what your goals were.
Crime has increased a lot, though. That's what keeps being said. No, crime has not increased a lot. That's bullshit. The type of crime that we're talking about that has increased a lot is not like property crime. Crime is literally down. You're fucking wrong. Crime straight up is down. Crime being increased a lot is just a made up thing that that even the police numbers do not correspond to. The only thing that's gone up is murder, and trust me, the violent murder is not happening in your fucking neighborhoods. It's happening in impoverished neighborhoods. Okay?
New icon unlocked. Thanks for the coverage, Has.
But because the media talks about crime fucking blasting nonstop, crime is up, crime is up, crime is up, when it's literally fucking down, you also feel like crime is up. It's just consent being manufactured right before your fucking eyes. Remember, we recently get told not to wear jewelry outside because it's gonna get jacked. Never had that happen before. That doesn't change anything. What do you mean?
17 my sub is 1 year.
There's people saying or police releasing information saying like, hey, you don't wear jewelry, versus the actual statistics that don't back up what you are mentioning. No. Crime has increased from the major lockdown, but it's still much, much lower than pre-pandemic levels. Okay? You're literally looking at an anecdote from a media organ that is operating at the behest of the police, who is using this like defund the police movement as though it was like even remotely effective to shit on lenient sentencing, like people that want to fucking push for lenient sentencing, as though they are the reason why crime is up. That DAs are not fucking stopping criminals, and that also cops, because they're defunded, can't actually stop criminals at all. No, they're just lazy shitbirds that don't actually ever fucking try to stop crime in general, okay? And that's precisely why they're going to continue not solving crimes, because that's not what they do. But now, on top of that, they're using this as an opportunity to say, oh, we've been defunded. We've been defunded, you know? The LAPD spending $8 million a day. We've been defunded. $3 billion budget. We've been defunded. No one has been defunded. It's just they're the same lazy pigs that fucking didn't do the work beforehand and continue not to do the work after. And then they just now blame politicians for it. It's great. And a bunch of people, unfortunately, have been sucked into this propaganda because the pig dogs over in news media, especially in local broadcasting, cannot shut the fuck up. Every single time this issue is brought up, they literally have a cop on. They have like a fucking fraternal order of the police guy on to be like, yeah, crime is fucking crazy, brother. It's crazy. We need like $7 trillion actually. We need the Javelin missiles sent to Ukraine to be sent back to us so we can use it in Inglewood. Okay?
I see a B.
crime is, unfortunately, a reality. Okay? As a part of living in an urban environment, you are going to have more crime. It is an unfortunate part of it. But with the increase in like all these neighborhood applications, Citizen, all these other fucking psychotic applications, Ring, and all these other like surveillance programs that constantly blast every minor fucking crime that occurs in your neighborhood directly in front of your goddamn eyes. And then the media also pumping that propaganda nonstop. Nextdoor is another app. You have been led to believe that it's happening all the time nonstop, because it is. Of course. Of course it's happening all the time nonstop. You live in a city. What the fuck do you think? Now you're aware of it. Now anytime it happens, you see it. That's the difference. So what you have to do, instead of getting sucked into the biases of being a human being, it's totally normal to like, have these preconceived notions as fear, especially when that messaging is being pumped from every facet of information. Instead of believing that, you have to look at the data. And the data does not reflect the reality that the media is portraying. The data does not reflect the reality that the police are portraying. Police data itself is not reflecting that reality. More tests mean more cases, more people, more crime. Wait, what are you? More tests don't mean more cases. I mean, the cases are existing no matter what happens. That's not what I'm saying is not Trumpian. Like, I don't think you understood me if you think that that's the same thing.
37 goddamn months.
I literally discovered my affluent suburban white mom and dad. They get push notifications and emails of every Chicago area crime while they sleep comfortably in a fucking waspy neighborhood miles and miles away, even from an iota of danger, and they feel scared. California's violent crime rate had decreased somewhat in 2020, but homicides and aggravated assault had increased. California's violent crime rate has actually increased, especially in impoverished neighborhoods. Despite upticks in 2012 and from 2015 to 2017, 2020, statewide violent crime rate was 0.6 below what it was in 2010, before California embarked on significant criminal justice reforms and comparable to levels in the late 1960s. For 2020, California's violent crime rate ranked 16th nationwide and was higher than the national rate of 387 per 100,000 residents. While robbery and rape decreased, homicides were increased by 30% and aggravated assaults by 7.5%. Yeah. Homicides have increased. But that's not what people talk about. They talk about robberies. Have you ever been robbed, fool? Yeah, I have actually. I have been robbed. It's terrifying. I mean, I get threatened on a daily basis. I've had knives pulled on me. I grew up in Turkey, dumbass. What do you mean? It's so fucking scary. It's an incredibly scary experience. It breaks a part of your brain because society is not supposed to function that way. So it almost undermines every single thing that you thought. Like the comfort bubble gets popped. I've had guns pulled on me too, in fucking Turkey of all goddamn places too, where guns are very, very, you know, not easy to find. I mean, I've also had guns pulled on me by cops, but that's a different story. That was also horrifying and easy way to get PTSD. But basically, when you get robbed, when you get fucking robbed, something breaks in your mind where the safety and the security that you automatically assume you have goes away. Because we all live in a society specifically for this purpose. Like we're you know, that we're free of like these kind of violent actions.
Please elaborate. Hassle.
Had cops go through my backyard undercover with guns drawn, thought I was getting robbed, and they flashed badges and said they were responding to a neighbor's complaint. So I understand what it's like. But I also recognize that police are propagandizing this perspective that like crime is fucking bananas, okay? And voters' perception of crime has always, this is from 2016, but this has always been the case. Voters' perception of crime has always conflicted with the reality. That's because reality is determined by what news media tells you. And what news media is doing always is operating at the behest of the police state. They're doing propaganda for cops.
System is so backwards and bad.
Oh, a few days ago, I didn't actually get robbed. That was a joke about being robbed at the awards show.
Agree on pretty much everything so far. Still waiting for my Joker moment.
Is there any chance in hell, figurative, of exploring a topic in opposition while in your presence without the automatic assumption of being wrong, incorrect, or morally negative? I don't know. Maybe you constantly bring up, maybe chatters constantly bring up points that we have discussed a million times over, because that's usually what's in the common, like, that's usually what's going on in conversations. And I have, you know, put a lot of fucking thought into this. And that is precisely why I've arrived at the point that I've arrived at. So if you're coming at it from the other side, of course I'm going to think you're wrong.
Good Devin.
Not all in here all the time, though. No, you're not all in here all the time. But I talk about things all the fucking time.
$16 months. Holy shit.
Response to that tweet was super fucking gross. Everyone wishing for you to get robbed and hurt and shit because of their own insecurities that don't have anything to do with you besides the fact that you're doing okay in life. I mean, yeah, it's just fucking hate, man. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. It's just the hot thing. You know what I mean? It's just trendy. People are unfortunately following the trends. You know? Look, pattern recognition or you know, being traumatized by events in your past is understandable. It happens all the time. Like at the top of the hour when I serve you an ad and you are scared that the ad break is coming, right? But fear not, of course. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do that for $5 or for free. When I do serve you the top of the hour ad break. You know what I'm saying? Right. There's a woman ad break now.
I do
Just
feel a
hit that
common
reset
bond
button.
with other white people because that's primarily who I find myself being around. Where I work, there is one black man of prominence in the department, of a department of, I'd say, 50 or so people closely that I work close to. I think about that a lot because being in IT, doing computer.
Laughs audibly because the joke wasn't clear nor was it funny. Never say my joke wasn't clear nor funny. Take 5 minutes off to reconsider your stupid position.
Computer work, I'd say every job I've worked at has been primarily white, doing retail computer work, working in the medical field, IT work, really primarily heavily white. And so I think, okay, well, do I just roll in a line of work that attracts white guys primarily like myself? Or is there something going on that they won't hire people of color? I don't know. It really it troubles me. And then I think, well, okay, I am social. I go out. I go downtown. I play games with friends. I'm very socially active. Why do I not hang around with or see, or why am I only primarily around white people?
75% of Americans say they come in contact with a few or no black people on a regular basis.
Some whites are very exclusive, you know, within the white
Obama was
community. For
president,
example,
so
if you are
racism doesn't
not
exist 200
white
IQ.
and Christian and of a certain income, then you'll be excluded. This country has been dominated by white male doctrination. And so,
Can I be your little pog champ?
what is the discussion? You know, you have laws, legislation, you have the whole basis of the country being created by white males. So at what point does that whiteness need to be discussed? It's everywhere. Being a male and being white,
You got me.
you know, it's still here, whereas being a female and being white is kind of still here. I feel very uncomfortable when there's too many only white people in a room. Like, right now, I'm kind of like, where's everybody else? We're talking about race and there's not anybody else in here.
7 out of every 10 members of the U.S. House of Representatives are white men. Dude, that's the right way to go about it, brother. What the fuck do you mean? Yes. I don't even need to hear anything from Ronald. This man is going to have some good takes, okay? I mean, I already know.
I don't know any people that aren't proud of that they're white, you know, not in my social group. You know, most guys in my social group, they don't say they're Italian or Polish. They might be from a Polish or Italian or Irish background, but they know they're white, and they kind of, you know, just portray themselves as white people, you know. Owning a bar, I'm involved with 25 to 40 different people every day. We have these discussions, especially after a few cocktails. You know, you really get into talking, and a lot of it might be baloney, but
Thanks for the content,
still,
man.
you know, a lot of
Love you,
things
chat
come
house.
out in the open, and I thought, well, maybe I should go down there and speak up. I think affirmative action was nice. It had its time. I think the time is over with. We're going to keep this up for another 150 years. Oh, you know, we got to have so many Asians in the fire department. We got to have so many blacks in the fire department. We got to have so many Latinos. The white guys will never have a chance to be a fireman or a cop anymore. We had that problem.
That's so good. I'm always saying these things. I'm always thinking to myself, like,
White people happy.
white people steady getting robbed of the opportunities they have. Can you imagine, instead of 90%, at first it was 100%, then they took that away from us. Then it became 90%, they took that away from us. Now it's a whopping 70%. I mean, god damn it, 70%. Golly. I mean, the horror. When will they stop oppressing white people? Before he goes to sleep at night, he lies still awake thinking about Asian firefighters. Also, what, like...
Turkish Martha
Okay.
Stewart. Turkish Martha Stewart.
Why does he think, like, does he think that, like, Asian people can't fight fires like white people can? Like, this motherfucker needs to watch that YouTube video of the Japanese firefighters and how sick they are. Like, actually goated.
Backhanded
Come
baby, let's
on.
go.
I mean, Asian people are taking our firefighting jobs. Name one Asian firefighter. I'll wait. I don't know. Literally every fucking firefighter in the Asian continent. Do you think that there aren't... Do you think that there are just no firefighters in you know, Asian countries? What the fuck? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Here in Buffalo, affirmative action, where they had to hire so
I
many
mean, I can name one white firefighter. His name is Murat Piker. So
blacks on the fire department and the police department, so they were being hired over white males, you know. So what happens, the white males took it to court, and finally the New York State Supreme Court ruled that, hey, these guys scored better, they did better on the agility test, the mental test, you know.
For sure.
The whole thing, they should have been given the jobs, but you gave it to minorities instead, and they won their case. A lot of minorities should understand that a lot of white boys aren't going to be pushed around, you know. It seems that the younger generation of white
I
males...
was right. This man did deliver. I knew Ronald was going to have no McDonald's ass takes, okay? I knew my man Ronald was going to pop the fuck off, and he certainly did, okay?
are a little bit more fearful of minorities, you know. They don't want to step on anybody's toes. Everything has to be politically correct. I wasn't raised that way.
Thank God. 26% of white Americans say the successes minorities achieve in business and education are perceived as being due to racial preferences. That's actually, whoa. That's actually pretty low. That's like, wow. It's like surprisingly low. That's, wow, okay. I mean, Ronald was an exception. He's like exceptional as a human. Yes, Hillary Rodham Clinton has COVID. Okay. Not going to die. Just, there's no shot. So, you know, don't even, you know, that's all I got. What? Evil people don't fucking die, okay? It just doesn't happen. Well, I've tested positive for COVID. Well, I've tested positive for COVID. I've got some mild cold symptoms, but am feeling fine. I'm more grateful than ever for the protection vaccines can provide against serious illness. God damn it, dude. I'm an anti-vaxxer now. Straight up. Vaccines, maybe not so good, you know? Maybe some people shouldn't get the vaccines.
Is it still brain rot if I'm not using it anyway?
Please get vaccinated and boosted if you haven't already. Bill tests negative and is feeling fine. He's quarantining until our household is fully in the clear. Movie recommendations appreciated.
19 months house.
About to suck up my vax out like the venom? Do that to Hillary. Give Hillary the suck. Make for an elderly woman prone to death. What? Good going? What do you...
It is Lil Krish. Is there anything I can do to get unbanned Saj? I hate LSF.
Damn.
I don't think there's been a time when I've been very conscious of my race.
I gotta pee.
Especially in Buffalo, there's not a lot of diversity. So I don't think that I've really been put in that situation just based on where I live. As a white person, I wish I had that feeling of being and that feeling of being a part of something for being white, but I don't. The culture, the pride in your culture is just not there for white people. We are the most segregated city as far as race goes in the country. And if you look at a heat map of all of the races in Buffalo, it is cut and dry where different races are. And it's not even just white people, it's black people are on the east side, Latinos are on the west side by the water. If you go to Black Rock, it's Asians, and there's no mixing of races anywhere within the city. And Buffalo is starting to become a very big location for refugees and for immigrants from Southeast Asia, and I think that there's a lot that we can gain from having those people mixed in with the culture as a whole, and we're just not doing it.
I'm not a completely normal white-looking woman. So you and I going out and doing something, you would get treated normal. I don't. So me saying I don't go out thinking about my race, I go out thinking I'm a tattooed woman that's going to get discriminated against. So you can't put me in the same boat as, hey, when you go out, do you think of yourself as a white woman? No, I don't. I don't get the same treatment as a normal white person does.
Wait.
I get discriminated against just as much as a minority does. That's why I
Wait,
said,
what? Why? Oh, wow. Wait, is it because she has fucking tattoos? That's crazy. That's sick. That's sick. I love that. Dude, that's alpha brain shit, dude. That is fucking awesome. Dude, come on. You gotta... I love takes like this. I get so tired of like the old boring shit. So when I see some like cool new shit, it just really, I appreciate it. You know, I'm seeing takes all the time. Okay. And sometimes life throws a fastball at you. Okay. And this is, you got to appreciate it. I love that. That's cool. That's creative. It's like
a white-looking woman. So you and I going out and doing something, you would get treated normal. I don't. So me saying I don't go out thinking about my race, I go out thinking I'm a tattooed woman that's going to get discriminated against.
Bro, she's literally the whitest person on the planet. What do I always say? There's nothing more white than like seeking oppression that you do not have. Okay? It is like the quintessential white trait is just being like, I'm so incredibly oppressed, dude. You have no idea.
So you can't put me in the same boat as, hey, when you go out, do you think of yourself as a white woman? No, I don't. I don't get the same treatment as a normal white person does. I get discriminated against just as much as a minority does. That's why I said I can't use the, hey, I'm a minority card because I'm not clearly a minority, but I am. But they would say, well, you...
What? What is going on? What the fuck? It's so good. Chef's kiss. It's crazy. Yeah, being black is like, you know, getting a tattoo in a non-conventional place, which of course you can laser off. It's just like that. Discrimination against body mods definitely exists, but this take is so fucking insane. Yeah. Because it's also self-induced. Like, you're not getting body mods because you want to be the same as everybody else. You're getting them because you want to be different. It's like part of your expression. You're literally paying to express yourself so you look different than other people. It's your choice. It's also, in like many instances, reversible, even if you get fucking gauges. And your earlobes grow to like insane size, you can get that shit chopped off and like sewed back up or some shit.
Sub longer than your dad's chat. Shout out Nasty Night, Gorby.
I chose
and
to
Mega.
be because I choose to make myself look different. I don't choose to be stared at. I don't like to be stared at. I choose to do this to my body because it's what I like to do. I choose to have a different color hair because I like my hair this color. If I go into a store, I get treated the same way as, let's say, a black person does. I don't.
Yo! Let's go! That's awesome. Bro, you dated a girl who had massive plugs? She did not have massive plugs when I dated her. Uh-huh.
W.
I want more. I want her to say it's actually worse for her. No, peak brain rot isn't this. Peak brain rot is when she says she has it worse than black people because, like, at least there are advocacy groups for black people. God, I could write takes like this all day, baby. I have the worst kind of brain rot. My brain rot is so powerful. I'm sorry. You've never seen brain rot like mine, okay? You will never understand the degree of brain rot I have up in here, okay? Do you get that? You won't. You will never understand it.
I don't get greeted. I get looked at like I'm shoplifting. The same exact situation. I can.
Dude, I love that. Yeah, black people's oppression starts and ends at being inconvenienced at the store, and there aren't like systemic consequences. They have to. This has real. You know what this has? This has real fucking. You're giving a lot of power to the N-word energy. You know what I mean? Because like, you just don't understand it. So you're thinking like, well, it's just a bad word. Like, what's the problem? Like, I don't get it. Like, that's the problem with the N-word, is that it's just mean. Oh, it's awesome. Peak brain rot was that redneck that yelled, "Do you have any idea how much a slave cost back then to a black person?" That was the most out-of-pocket racist statement ever. Oh, yeah.
Hassle.
Promise you. So when you and I would go out, I can promise you I would get the same exact thing that your partner would get. So I don't get the white person treatment.
Civil Rights Act of 1964 doesn't protect the 20% of white American adults with tattoos.
Sussy.
Okay, they had fun with that one. Okay, they were like, this lady's so buck wild, we're going to have fun with this one.
I think people perceive me as white, fully white, not half white or half Native American. If I do get a benefit, I would say it's nothing overt. Just it's almost like you could be
15
no
months
color.
swap.
It's just like you're just another person, so they leave you alone. They don't bother you, or they just think you're in on some joke almost. The reason I check the Native American boxes is probably two reasons. Is one, it has to do with my grandfather and being.
Look, you got to celebrate that Miskiv was able to lose a big chunk of the weight. I know he lost his hairline too, and also no longer has that mustache. But, you know, you just got to take the victories where you can, okay? I'm just saying. Fine. Not the end of the world. Can't clip and ship it to LSF.
He was full Native American, and how he was treated at the time for being full Native American. And it's almost like a way of not revenge, but it's a way of saying, look, you know, I'm not only going to do this for me because it's how I feel about myself, but this is for my grandfather who couldn't be himself because it would make his life terrible. So for me to not acknowledge it would be a crime almost. It'd be like slapping my grandfather in the face, and I can't do that.
Between 2000 and 2010, the percentage of Americans who say they were white and at least one other race increased 25%. Hasan isn't used to reading positive chats and messages that agree with him. That's a lie. I'm reading it right now. Okay.
Bozo LSF Bozo.
Friendly chatter was mocking poor reporting earlier. Thanks to the chatters who were trying to defend me. Sorry about being about 7 minutes behind on this, but I had to catch it all in the VOD because I was cooking my B chat. Damn, that's real mobile shit right there. That's real mobile user shit.
Hassle.
I was quite aware that I was white when I was in
This guy could go both ways. This could go either way. Okay, I didn't even realize he was in prison. That's a little bit of a spoiler. I haven't seen these ones. This could go either way. He could be cool. He could be super sick or wildly, wildly bad. Okay.
In a prison where there were mostly American Indians and African Americans, you become quite aware of your ethnicity at that point. And it was interesting because there was an internal hatred between the American Indians and the African Americans in the jail. And you are forced to pick a side. And I don't know why, but it seemed like I had more in common with the American Indians that were in the prison than the African Americans. I don't know why that was. But that was when I became aware that I was white. I wasn't accepted in either side in that setting. It's something I'll carry with me for the rest of my life, for sure.
What? 30% of U.S. jail cells holding more than one inmate are integrated by race. I don't even understand what he's saying. This in case he ever checks my history and he doesn't just shit on me for some reason. So glad my message was on screen for that long. Love you though.
I think they see me as a white person, as a married person, and as a short, hairy person. That's overweight. I've been involved in several lawsuits against police departments and municipalities for unlawfully arresting African American male. I purposely try to defend people that are in those kind of situations.
Oh shit!
I'm not a racist or a bigot, and that I think it is very hurtful if someone assumes that of me just because I'm white or because I could be in favor of a policy that is, say, de facto racist. I'm pro-life, and I think it's rather upsetting.
Wait, I didn't roast him. I said I laughed because he said he hairy and short.
When I see people addressing the issue of the bad things that happen to
Bro, come on. Don't say okay, white savior. Bro, dude's out here literally suing police departments at the behest of like wrongful, like black people being wrongfully arrested.
a de facto racist. I'm pro-life, and I think it's rather upsetting when I see people addressing the issue of the bad things that happen to African Americans in society. When in my mind, there's nothing worse than in the context of race, 500,000 black.
Wrong. I was wrong. He's just doing the fucking, the abortion industry is just murdering black babies or whatever by way of abortion.
Children dying every year.
God damn it, bro. Come on. There's got to be like one fucking dude in here who's like good. How can dudes start off by being like, I'm literally a fucking, a public defender doing pro bono work defending black people that have been victim to police brutality, and then turn around and be like, also affirmative action is literally should be a crime and that black people are lazy. Like how? How does it start off one way and then literally wait, did I misunderstand? Was he saying he's in favor of the cops? Like he wasn't suing police departments. He was actually suing the black people that are arrested for not being arrested well enough.
The municipalities. I've been involved in several lawsuits against police departments and municipalities for unlawfully arresting African American male.
Wait. He's a cop. Oh my God, he's been sued. What the fuck? Oh my God. Okay, he was not even, what? Okay, this is really racist, okay? I'm sorry. Someone pointed out his name. It's so racist in proximity to the potato famine video that we just watched. I mean, that's just fucked up that they did this, okay? This is like an Irish cartoon, okay? You can't do that. No, that's unacceptable, okay? You can't. Are you serious? Are you serious? Like ah! Not only is he a racist cop, but his last name is Mick. Interesting. Okay, let's continue. And he's pro-life.
Addressing the issue of the bad things that happen to African Americans in society, when in my mind there's nothing worse than in the context of race, 500,000 black children dying every year, and so it just seems like
and I'm just trying to do my part. I'm just trying to do my fucking part.
Contradiction to me.
10% of white American adults believe most whites are racist. 38% believe most blacks are racist. Yo, that's fucking awesome. This statistic shows why I inevitably got banned, like ultimately got banned from fucking LSF. Crackergate really fucking showed me something about the way that just white people behave on the internet. It really did. It just like blew my mind how much people were able to just like do a rallying cry and a casting call basically for white oppression. They were like, "We got it, boys. We got it. We're finally being oppressed." Like by Tushim or HasanAbi. This statistic, I think, corresponds to that.
7 months in and the brain rot has fully set.
I hate that you had to go through that, but now you understand our plight like tattoo, bitch. What? Yeah. Oh, this is the trailer. We went through all of them. Goddamn. We literally went through all of them. Dad's white and I'm half breed, and the way treats people of color sucks. I have tattoos all over and cops even disrespect me and he agree with them. It sucks. Sorry to hear that, man. Eldon Cat.